This Kaspa crash was right in front of us on the chart, and it's a very good lesson not to marry your bags. And even if you have long-term conviction in something, don't get blinded by your conviction in that when the chart is telling us something very telling. And in this video, we're going to go over what the technical analysis showed us on a Kaspa. Before we get into it, I am not a financial advisor, and cryptocurrency is extremely risky. And if you understand that, click the like button and let's get into what the chart was telling us. Crazy to think that Kaspa was in the 3 cent range for like 2 or 3 days. Very, very crazy. But you can see now from the lows is rebounding. From this low right there, Cas up 20%. Markets look to be rebounding a little bit. I posted this tweet about Bitcoin a couple days ago. You can look at it. So far, it has played out well. Let's see what happens with the market. But the point of this video is to not look forward, but actually look back and see how we could all get better at technical analysis and what that does for us. So if we just go over here on TradingView and take a look at the all-time chart for Kaspa, you can see Kaspa did some amazing numbers during the bear market that nothing else did. 53,000% up. Crazy numbers, and we all thought it was just going to keep going up forever. No, but seriously, guys, it's you've got to be able to learn from this stuff, right? It's life. You have to live and learn. Okay, you have to take the bad things that happen or the missed opportunities that happen and get better at it next time, right? And so, one thing I want to show y'all. And I've talked about this a while, and I did talk about it whenever the price was up here, but still my conviction blinded me. As you could see right here, we had a big portion of a rolling top, and this up here marked the KRC20 launch. So right there, that was the biggest news that we had thought we had for Kaspa at the time, right? Kaspa being able to have meme coins, be able to have, essentially projects built on top of Kas, very bullish, right? But it ended up being a sell the news event, and for a couple of reasons that we can get into in a minute. But from a technical analysis standpoint, what I want to show y'all is what this rounding top really was. And whenever you're taking a look at a rounding top, it might not look like a perfect head and shoulders, but technical analysis wise, it's categorized the same exact way. And so you can see just like this, you have your head and shoulders pattern. But now, how do you tell how far it's going to drop when you see a head and shoulders pattern? Well, there's no exact science, but there is a technical analysis measure that I will show you. And whenever we come here, if you measure from the top of the head to what they call the neckline right there, you see this red, and then you take it to the breakout point right there. Bada bing, bada boom. What level is that? If we take a look, that's a little bit less than 2 cents. And if we draw this horizontal all the way over here to see if that matches up with any other levels historically, we could see it actually kind of does. It kind of matches up with some resistance right here. It kind of played support and resistance right here. And it came right around the liquidation wick that we had back on around October 11th. And so just being able to use something like this for technical analysis, if I would have said, hey, if we form this right shoulder and I get out, or maybe I shave a portion of my bags and do risk mitigation, then it would have saved me a lot of headache, a lot of heartache, and a lot of money, because could have bought 67% cheaper. But that is what history has told us. But the good news about this is we have hit this level with this liquidation wick, okay? And getting underneath 2 cents is very, very low, but we are fairly close to it right now, and the conviction remains the same with Kaspa. And just a couple updates that I want to go over. This is something that was posted around the dev in the Telegram, and you could see they talked about wallet number 1 accumulated more than twice the October block emissions in a single month. This is huge. Remember, Kaspa is proof of work. So miners get rewards in Kaspa, and all of those accumulative rewards were less than what wallet number one, who I have multiple videos trying to figure out who it is, if it's Wintermute, if it's Binance, if it's Gate.io, which we do not think it is anymore. But that right there is somebody with a lot of conviction, or some type of entity, whether that be a market maker, whether that be an institution or an exchange, that is really waiting for some big things to come for Kaspa. And you can see right here, someone is positioning before an announcement. But then getting into some technical achievements, Tel Aviv meetup in November, Michael Sutton, Michael Sutton and Starkware together, not a coincidence. They're integrating STWO Prover into VProgs. Now, what does that mean? Yeah, I don't know either, guys, but we can read down and get a little more info. I'm not a big tech guy. Like, I don't understand the backsides of it, right? I understand over than basic, like more than basic, but I'm definitely not like a Vitalik guy. I'm definitely not, Michael Sutton or any of those people whenever it comes to really in-depth cryptographic knowledge. But once VProgs launched with STWO verification, Kaspa rolls out staking, not proof of stake. Stay with me. BTCFI style. You lock cash to secure VProgs applications and earn yield from DeFi fees. If you come over here, this solves a security budget problem permanently. It's a triple incentivized model. So creates the first ZK native proof of work chain with actual smart contracts and sustainable economics. ZK is zero knowledge proof. That's a way that people can do transactions without being public. Here's an illustration I'll put up here, and it's where you know what the final result is and you can verify that the final result is true, but you don't have to know all the information in between. And this is very, very big in a time where we are very much focused on privacy. That's why you see Zcash doing extremely well. That's why you see a lot of these zero knowledge proof protocols doing very well. And it looks like Kaspa is working to integrate all of that. So even though the chart told us a story back in July of 2024 that I should have listened to, but I didn't, we have now hit a pretty low level right there. But these head and shoulders measurements, they are not a for sure thing. They could come up a little short, they could come up a little further down. But what I do like to go look for is look at other points of resistance or support over time that have played pivotal roles. So if we say, let's change this one right here to green, because that's where I would be unloading all of my cash. But let's see, never financial advice either, it's just what I'm doing. But you see right there, let's change that to red right there. So let's go through that one. And you can see we actually have broken underneath that level, and we are trying to get back above it. So this would be a very, very bullish thing to see if we were able to get above this 4.3 cent level and hold above it, because it had acted as resistance right here. It acted as support right here, acted as support right here, and it's either acting as resistance now or it's going to break above that level. So that's something to keep in mind. But if we do keep dropping down, other levels that I will be looking at correlate with other resistances or supports. You can see right here, the same thing. We had right here a resistance, and right here we had a support, and that is sitting around 3.2 cents. And the final one that we would have that I think is as low as it could ever go, which I do not even think it will go down there, is this level right here, which is a little bit over 1 cent. But the chart told us the story and I didn't listen to it. But the tech is continuing to evolve. We are at 10 blocks per second, and the Kaspa community is as strong as ever. But I want to know, what do you think about this technical analysis? And is it something that you seen back then? Did you get out and trade it, or are you hodling with conviction? Watch this video up above, and if you're not a part of the Finance Freeman family, what are we doing? Subscribe. I love you all.